Hey, what's up YouTube? It is March 26th, 2019. I don't know what time it is. I just got home from work. I know some of y'all saw an update from yesterday, and I don't know, I just felt like posting another one today. Work was okay. The beginning of the day was a little bit rough, but as soon as I got away from that counter, that front counter and that freaking drive-through, it was a lot better. Dealing with the public day in and day out and day in and day out, and the negativity for days and days and days in a row, it takes a toll. It really does. Don't get me wrong. I'm so grateful that I have a job. I know what it's like to not have a job, and it sucks. And I'm grateful, because, I do have a job, and they do pay me very well. It's not like $30 an hour or anything. I'm not a pharmacist, but they pay me well enough to make ends meet and have a little extra. So, but there's a price to that, and part of the price is the stress and the dealing with just boom, 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 boom. Some days it's just you can't make anybody happy. So, and this morning it was one of them days. I just felt like I couldn't make anybody happy no matter what I did. I felt like if I bent over backwards and kissed my own butt, it would probably make somebody mad. So it was, but towards the afternoon it got better. So, you never know what kind of day you're gonna have whenever you show up. But, anyways, so there's just a couple of things I wanted to just kind of talk about. First off, I think it's, I don't know if I want to say sad is the word, but it's kind of crazy how when I go through things, especially like when I'm having down days or if I have meltdowns or whatever, the most supportive people I have are people that I've never met in real life. Like, not even kidding. And that's a shame, I think. I think it's a big shame, because you would think the people that were in your life would care more. But it doesn't seem to be the case. However, my sister did ask a very important question today, because I told them I was getting off my medication. I said my medication is obviously not working. So I'm going to be getting off of it, because I honestly think the side effects from the medication are making this worse. But we talked about that yesterday, what the side effects are that are happening to me, and I don't like it. So they're not thrilled about the idea. Apparently I need to think about what I'm doing. Well, I have been thinking about it, and the side effects are thoughts of suicide. So I think I'm doing the right thing. I don't know about you, but in my book, antidepressants should probably be deterring you from wanting to commit suicide. But when you're on them and all you can think about is how are you going to kill yourself, that's probably a good indicator that you should probably not be on that medication. But nobody wants to hear that. Nobody's trying to hear that. But I know it's in my head, and I know that I don't want to hurt myself, and I don't want to kill myself. So I'm getting off the medication. Plus, I'm 41 years old. And, and I'm thinking clearly, and I have common sense, and I know that having these thoughts is not normal. And I know that they're because of the medication, because I didn't have these thoughts before I was taking the medication. And it's one of the side effects. Okay, so I'm getting off of the medication. That's just all there is to it. So, you know, it's a bad idea, apparently, to some people. But they're not in my head. If they were in my head, they would totally do the same thing, I'm telling you. But my sister asked me, what can we do to help you as a family? Which is the first time any of them have asked me that question. I'm sorry, I'm trying to put these slippers on, and they're the kind of slippers that they just don't want to come on. But once they're on, they're so comfortable. So my angles are bad, and I have no makeup on, and I look like crap. And I just pulled my hair down, so I need to comb it, and it looks like crap. But you know what? I don't care. I don't care right now. I really don't. My main focus is getting this stupid shoe on. Well, it's a slipper. And talking to you guys. So, anyways. So this is what I told my sister, and my mom was in the same chat. It's a text message between me and my mom and my sister, and it's titled "Da Girls." So it's that way we can talk freely, you know, just between us three. And I'm sure they have one without me. So if they'll do it for you, they'll do it to you, no matter who they are. So, but still haven't gotten an apology from my brother. I'm probably not going to get one. He's very prideful. He never admits when he's wrong. He's always right. So I'll never get an apology from him. But whatever. Easter's coming up. I can magically get a headache if I need to. You know what I'm saying? So, just like on Thanksgiving, I didn't want to deal with anybody. So I magically got a headache. And I almost did the same thing for Christmas. But I showed up for Christmas. Didn't want to, but I did. Anyways. So what I told my sister was the best thing they can do for me is to, you know, when I have an issue, don't yell at me. You know, I'm the type of person, if you're going to yell at me, I don't yell back. That's like if somebody hit me, I don't hit back. You know, I shut down. So yelling at me doesn't do any good. It makes me feel worse about myself. You know, my brother, he will yell. Well, he don't even yell. He's an avoider. He would rather text, you know, but he won't talk to you. He won't sit down and have a conversation because he's a coward. But he'll text you. He's like a keyboard warrior. You know, those keyboard warriors that they'll bully you through the internet, but they would never do it to your face. Well, he does that through text messages. So I seriously don't think he's going to apologize. If he did, I would faint. He's an avoider, just like our biological father's an avoider. So, but that's what they asked. That's what Robin asked me. She was like, what can we do as a family to help you? I said, you know, don't yell at me when I have a breakdown, or if I just want to talk, or if I'm having certain feelings. Don't yell at me, because that's the first thing to do is yell at me. I don't like to be yelled at. I don't. Don't yell at me. You know, that's almost as bad as ignoring me. I don't know what's worse, being yelled at or ignored. Either way, I don't like it. I told him, you know, just, you know, don't pressure me to do stuff. Don't get me wrong when I say this. because this is going to make me sound bad, but I'm to the point to where I don't care what people think, seriously. But I've not been going to church lately, and that's because I confided in my pastor about some things that I had done, you know, when I was with Dale in Florida, and I knew better. I knew that the things that I was doing was wrong because I was not married to him. I didn't know he was already married to somebody else. He was my boyfriend, you know, and but I knew the act of the things that we were doing was wrong, and that you're supposed to wait for marriage for that. But I did it anyways. So, I mean, I didn't go into detail with my pastor, but he's been married to his wife forever, since they were teenagers. He knows what people do, you know? And he's been a pastor. I'm sure he's heard it all. But I have a lot of shame about what I did, because I know better. I know right from wrong, and what I did was wrong. And so it's kept me from going back to church. It's kept me from having a second meeting with my pastor. It's kept me from a lot of things. And so my sister is constantly, I don't want to say she's pressuring me, but she loves to bring up the fact that I need to go to church. And I know I need to go to church. I'm so aware that I need to go to church. I am very much aware. But walking through those doors is, when I do walk through those doors one day, it's going to be very humiliating. And because I don't think my pastor told anybody, because I think I trust him that he wouldn't tell anybody. But the fact that he knows my sin, what I did, and then come to find out the guy was married, is humiliating. And I have a lot of shame about that. I have a lot of shame. Like, a lot. And so, yeah, that's what's keeping me from going back to church. And I need to go back to church. I know I do. But it's just when people just harp on you about it, and every time you see them, they bring it up. It's just like, I'm so aware. Please stop, you know? I know. Just just let me breathe, okay? Just let me breathe. But I don't know. So, but I will go back to church. It's taken me a while to let go of my pride, because I am humiliated. And even though I know he didn't tell anybody, because I trust my pastor, and I know he's not sitting there judging me, I'm still very much ashamed, and I'm still very much humiliated, and I'm very much hurt, and I very much still have feelings for Dale, and I wish I didn't have feelings for him, but I can't turn them off. I think about him constantly, and I hate myself for it, because I don't want to feel that way for a man that's married. And I promise you, I'm not going to act on those feelings. They will go eventually, but it's still painful. So, anyways, so that's one thing that's happened recently, is my sister just asking, you know, what can we do as a family to help you? Quit pressuring me. Quit pressuring me. Don't yell at me. If I'm upset, yelling at me is not going to help. You know what will help? Put your arms around me. Tell me I'm going to be okay. That will help. But nobody wants to put their arms around me and tell me that I'm going to be okay. They would rather yell at me. And that's a huge issue with me. I don't want to be yelled at. I don't need to be yelled at. I just want somebody to freaking hold me tight and tell me I'm going to be okay. But I can't even get that from anybody. Nobody. But then again, I usually don't let people touch me. So that's probably my fault too. So that's one thing I wanted to tell y'all about. And then the other thing I wanted to talk to y'all about is, so with this medication comes suicidal thoughts. And, you know, when it comes to things like suicide, and you want to do research on like suicide or whatever, probably about 90% of it is teen suicide. They are like old people suicide, people that are terminally ill and they don't want to burden their family, or teen suicide. You hardly ever hear about people, you know, my age, people in their 40s. You don't really hear much about that, you know. And it's all focusing on the teenagers. And I get it. Well, any kind of, no matter what age you are, suicide is horrible. It's a horrible thing, and it's not going to fix anything. It's really not. And, you know, and when you have these thoughts, like the thoughts are there, but I know I'm not going to act on them, you know. But the thoughts are there. But there's no one out there, there's like my age, like not to relate to, well, I don't know. It's all about teen suicide. You know what I'm saying? You only hear about teenagers. How can we help our teenagers? Well, I'm not a teenager, but I need help. But there's no help for people my age. It's all about the teenagers and how tragic it is for teenagers. I guess it's less tragic for older people. I don't know. I guess my suicide would be not as important as if I was a teenager. I don't know. I just don't feel important anyways. So, but regardless, if you try to look up things about suicide, most of it's about teen suicide. Every once in a while you'll come across something about like older people or people with terminal illness that don't want to burden their families, and then they'll commit suicide. But I have yet to find anything about people in their 40s who, you know, who commit suicide. Unless you want to read like an obituary or a news article. There's no like help for people that are older. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. It's kind of jacked up, really. Because I'm not a teenager, so I don't think suicide hotlines are for everybody. I think they focus more on teenagers. But I don't know. I just think there needs to be more awareness about not just teen suicide. I don't know. This whole thing has just got my mind all messed up. Basically, there's no self-help like out there for people my age that constantly think about death and suicide, and what a relief it would be to not be in such pain and turmoil and feeling disgusting and gross and ugly and a blob, and you know, there's nothing out there for people like me. There's nothing. So I don't know. Maybe it is true. Maybe I am not as important. I don't know. I'm feeling very unimportant. I don't know why, I just do. I feel like I'm insignificant. I feel like I am, I don't know, I feel like my life has run its course. I have no direction. No direction, no motivation, no purpose, nothing. I honestly feel nothing. Like, really. I just feel like I don't want to feel. So I'm trying to train myself to cut my feelings off, and I'm getting better at it. I'm getting better at it. Hopefully one day I'll just be a robot. That's the goal. It's just to be a robot. But in the meantime, I'm getting off this medication. I'm off the weekend. So Friday, I'm not gonna take my medicine. That'll give me the weekend to withdraw. And then hopefully by Monday, I will be okay. I'm gonna drink a lot of water, try to flush everything out. And that's it. No more medicine, period. None. The only thing I'll take is vitamins, and that's because I have to, because of my weight loss surgery. So, but all my other medicine is going in the trash, because two things are gonna happen. If I keep taking it, the thoughts are gonna get overwhelming, and eventually I'm gonna kill myself. Okay. Or number two, the thoughts are gonna get really bad, and then I'm gonna end up just taking every pill I have in the house and kill myself. So regardless, if I don't stop taking this medication, the odds of me not making it are 100%. So I don't know. There's obviously something else going on besides brain chemistry, because every medicine I try, all it does is exactly what it says it's gonna do. Side effect, thoughts of suicide. So I don't want any more medicine. So anxiety medicine, I'm just gonna have to deal with it. I mean, anxiety is horrible. Anxiety is like, I don't know if you ever had anxiety, but it comes in different ways. And I have anxiety at work because it's always constantly non-stop. Everybody wants their stuff right now. You can't go, no matter how fast you go, it's not fast enough. Nothing's ever good enough. You know, they want to, you know, cut our hours but give us more stuff to do. In the meantime, our prescriptions counts are going up quickly, but they're cutting our hours. So we're doing more scripts, have more things we have to do, and they're cutting our hours. And the stress is just outrageous. So anyways, so I have anxiety at work because I'm not fast enough. You know, everybody there is in their 20s. They're faster than me. You know, when you're in your 20s, you're fast. When you're in your 40s, you start to slow down. So everybody else is in their 20s except for me and my pharmacy manager. Everybody else is in their 20s. So, yeah. But, so I don't know how I'm going to do this this without anxiety medication. It's not anything strong. It's nothing like, like Valium or anything like that. It's nothing strong like that. It's a mild anxiety pill that helps me just to get through my work day. I don't even need them on my days off. I don't take them on my days off because I don't have anxiety because I'm not at work. So, but anyways, there's just a few things I would just wanted to get off my chest is, what my sister had asked me and my response, and then the whole, suicide topic about there's really nothing out there for people my age. Everybody wants to focus on the teenagers, which I think teen suicide is heartbreaking. It's horrible. No parent should ever have to bury their child. They shouldn't. But at the same time, as someone who thinks about suicide constantly, there's nothing out there for me. It's just like, okay, well, I guess since I'm not a teenager, I don't matter. So, I don't know. There's nothing out there for me. So, I'm going to bed. I'm tired. I just want to go to bed. That's it. So, I'm going to go to bed. And, yeah. Y'all have a good evening. I've taken enough of your time.